Adults will often say when talking about how they are, "Oh, that's just me. That's just the way I am," without even realizing that actually the subconscious mind has been programmed as a child for them to be like that. In actual fact, that is not who they are, and certainly not how they should be. The great news is, using hypnotherapy, issues like this can be eradicated and negative behaviors replaced by positive behaviors. Five signs of childhood emotional neglect. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 signs that somebody has suffered emotional neglect as a child. It's important to remember that there is no college degree to become a parent, unfortunately. Literally every second of the day, a child is born to ill-equipped parents. As humans, nobody is perfect, and often the importance of bringing up a child is lost amongst some of us. Children's minds are like sponges, and particularly the first 7 years are the most impressionable. The way they are treated, the things they hear, the things they witness, and often the behaviors around them can all affect them. It's important to point out that emotional neglect and abuse are 2 completely different things. Abuse is done in the knowledge that something bad is happening from the abuser, whereas emotional neglect can happen accidentally, simply by ignorant people. It's very easy for a young person's subconscious mind to take lots of triggers in, connections and behaviors from their childhood situations. They take them into their adult lives without even realizing. Adults will often say when talking about how they are, "Oh, that's just me. That's just the way I am," without even realizing that actually the subconscious mind has been programmed as a child for them to be like that. In actual fact, that is not who they are, and certainly not how they should be. The great news is, we can look at our negative traits as a result of emotional childhood neglect, acknowledge them, and then change them and lose them. Although it's very difficult to forgive childhood emotional neglect, we must remember that all of our parents in any situation had their own worries, their own values, and perhaps often never even knew the impact, positively or negatively, they were having on our lives, as most parents believe that if the child doesn't understand what's going on, then it doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, this couldn't be further from the truth. In no particular order, the first of the 5 signs on my list is loneliness. There can be loads of reasons why parents leave their children alone. Maybe they both work full-time and have busy careers, leaving nannies, friends, or family members to take over. Whatever the reason, the side effects can roll over into adulthood, and loneliness can really take its toll. Anyone can experience loneliness, even when people are around, proving it really is the subconscious, as most people would question, how can you be lonely if you have people around you? The answer is, it can be a state of mind due to a lack of attention and love as a child. Parents with depression and anxiety will be so consumed with their own issues that children are often left to their own devices. This can cause shame in later life and cause an adult to hold back from social situations, as they still feel unwanted and perhaps don't feel like they deserve attention and love. Eating disorders can occur due to being told to finish everything on your plate, or perhaps not feeling enough because of the competition in the household between siblings. There may have been a lack of food which causes scarcity. Either way, this can cause issues with overeating, undereating, and various other issues regarding food. Lack of love in a household can push somebody towards an eating disorder, as they are searching for love and comfort from an outside source. And of course, this causes a vicious circle that can be detrimental to physical and mental health. Neediness is a huge issue when there has been a lack of love at home, obviously causing repercussions to be desperate to be in a relationship, and sometimes quite smothering whilst in relationships, seeking validation constantly perhaps. Something that seems so insignificant that happened to us as a child can in fact have a devastating effect on us when we are adults. For example, a parent picking up a child very late from school can in fact install a fear of abandonment within the child, causing issues with neediness in adult relationships. Emptiness, from that feeling that something was missing all the time as a child, be it love, affection, compliments, or company. All of these, of course, can play a part in feeling empty as an adult. We end up needing and wanting more when in most cases we actually have it already. Never feeling content, often feeling unhappy. A feeling of not being enough can be overwhelming and a consequence of emptiness. And this is such a shame, as everybody is enough. And then we have anger issues, perhaps a result of a violent upbringing between parents, or a parent and a sibling, or even a parent and the actual person involved. Whatever the cause, anger issues ruin all relationships and friendships, and just like all the other signs, must be acknowledged and dealt with accordingly. It's very common for children to follow in the footsteps of their parents when it comes to hobbies or fears or phobias, and it's no different to follow in the footsteps of violence and anger, causing problems in the workplace or at home and with friends and of course family. All of these issues are problems that can actually be solved. Just like any issue in life, first must be acknowledged, understood, and then dealt with. Our subconscious mind is like a filing cabinet full of all of our memories and experience of our life from where we were born all the way up to when we die. The subconscious mind is very clever and forms patterns for behavior to help us. For example, we can talk and walk without having to think about it. Things we repeat, like driving, become automatic, and so we don't need to think about them when we're doing them. Unfortunately, though, the subconscious mind does not just pick up helpful behaviors, it also picks up unwanted behaviors like drinking, smoking, or drugs, for example. The subconscious mind also is highly effective from when we are young and serves as a protector, as a consequence to our experiences, to keep us safe in the future. The truth is, the reason why we have memories and the subconscious mind storing everything like this is so that we can survive more easily. By remembering things that cause harm physically and emotionally, we can learn from them and avoid doing whatever caused the harm again in the future. The great news is, using hypnotherapy, issues like this can be eradicated and negative behaviors replaced by positive behaviors. Normally, behaviors and mind patterns are guarded by the conscious mind, and the wonderful thing about hypnosis is that the process places the conscious mind to sleep, whilst the subconscious mind is wide open for positive suggestions. When we create the positive desired changes, it's very, very simple for the person to go to a positive attitude rather than a negative attitude. It's such a simple, relaxing process that in reality, it doesn't even take that long to reverse even those issues that seem to live deeply within us. In all my years working as a clinical hypnotherapist, I have helped many people suffering with these issues and more. The one thing all these people have in common is that they think that they are alone and the problem or problems they're experiencing are unique to them. In reality, there is a huge percentage of the population secretly suffering in silence due to emotional neglect as a child. Most people live their lives on autopilot, simply going with the flow and not really analysing why they feel and act as they do. But with consideration and thought, we can often trace our behaviours, good and bad, back to when we were young. Becoming mindful is key to this. It allows us to really focus on what we are thinking and doing and the reasons for them. Quite often, people live with these issues until they find themselves in some kind of crisis. Perhaps the way they are is affecting their work, family, relationships, friendships, and general lifestyle. This forces the person to look inside and be truthful to themselves about how they are acting and living their lives, and then do something about it. Over the years, I've spent a lot of time talking to many people who are now parents and don't want to repeat what happened to them as children with their own children. These days, we are far more aware of the impact that our words and actions can have amongst our children. Parents are far more aware of what is good and bad for the future of their children. From regulating TV programs and computer games to how they communicate with each other as parents and the children in general. Perhaps taking any arguments away from the children, including adult problems that need solving, worries, financial issues, and anything else that the children really do not need to be part of. During my 10-year career as a hypnotherapist, I've learned the best ways to help people in every situation concerning their mindset. I've created a hypnotherapy audio collection that has something for everybody within it. The audios are available individually, and we also have a fantastic opportunity to use all of them whenever you like when you purchase our All Access Pass. It could be ideal for you, a friend, or a family member. And if you would like to learn more, then simply click the link below and check it out at my website. From all of us here at New Mindset Hypnotherapy, have a great day and thank you so much for watching.